beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a language video but also kind of a life video, I guess. I saw this in a comment in one of the videos and the perspective was so new to me that I want to make a video on it. So basically, I've talked about how it's completely okay to not understand basically anything when you're starting out learning the language. And someone asked me, well, Tima, how can I be okay with not understanding? So that's the reason for this video. I have 5 things that in language learning, but also in life, I look up into and I think about when I am not understanding something, which is majority of the time, unfortunately. Number 1, not understanding something today does not mean that you will never understand it. So I think this is the most important thing. You not understanding today is a part of you understanding tomorrow. And well, not necessarily tomorrow, but like, in a year. And without the effort that you're making today, you will never get that progress that you're looking for in a year. There is never in the world even one expert who was never a beginner. So not understanding something, that's just being a beginner. And until some time, like when you're especially younger, you're kind of used to being a beginner. But as an adult and also like late teenager, young adult, suddenly you're expected to not be a beginner anymore. And suddenly there's a mental weight that keeps you from trying out and being really bad and still just trying. Also, if you're not a beginner today, you will have to be a beginner tomorrow. The fact that you're already taking on the challenge, that is a lot of effort that you need to appreciate. And most likely your brain is already making connections between what you already know and the new information, and is in the process of helping you understand, because humans were so adaptable to a lot of situations. So don't underestimate your brain, because it is making the connections. It's just that you're not seeing the results necessarily today. Doesn't mean that you will never see them. Number 2, this may be a bit controversial for some people, but for me it's very obvious. Every time you're not understanding, just remember, other people are just also not understanding. You're having problem, everybody else is also having problems. And this is also with life. You don't know what you're doing with your life. I guarantee 80% of the population also don't know what they're doing with their lives. And in that 20% who, like, in principle know what they're doing with their life, even they usually don't know what they're doing with their life on a day-to-day basis. So for example, me, I knew what I wanted since like I was really young. Since I was 9 years old, I knew I wanted to do music. And even to this day, I still know that I want to do music. If you ask me on a single day, what are you doing with your life? For example, today, I don't know. And that not knowing is part of it. Because, which leads me to number 3, life is full of unknown stuff. There is a reason why you don't know how the rest of your life is going to turn out. And the reason for that is because there is a certain element of accident and a certain element of excitement also in not being aware of everything. And this may seem strange, like when you're learning a language, maybe you're not necessarily looking for being exciting, but just think about it. If you knew the result of everything that you've done in your life before you do it, what was like the joy of that? And not knowing stuff, not knowing how the result of the exam is going to turn out, like me, not knowing like all the time that you put, was it worth it, was it not worth it, all this stuff, not knowing what they're talking about, not knowing what you're reading, not knowing what you're going to tell other people when you're speaking. This is all kind of also exciting, right? I mean, maybe it's not exciting for you, but like to me it's still exciting. And just think about it. If, for example, every single flower knew where it's going to like spread its stems in the spring, if it knew exactly, would spring still be so exciting? No. Why do we pick dandelions and then we glue them? There is an element of chance, and that's exciting. And this applies to languages, and this applies to life generally, in my opinion. I think it's very broad. Like, not understanding stuff is a part of life, and it's what makes life so interesting. Number 4. This one may only apply to some people and not to everyone, but it does apply to me, so that's why I'm gonna share it. Think about a situation that you survived, that you were not supposed to survive. Like a really traumatizing situation, if you have one of those. But I think like the majority of people do, so I don't know. And think about the fact that you survived that. Nothing can be as bad as that. Absolutely nothing. A new language, living in a new country, moving to a new continent, having you change houses by yourself alone. No, nothing could be as bad as that situation that you already passed. Every time I am just having a lot of problems and a lot of depression and everything, and whenever I have like the huge amount of self-doubt, because some self-doubt that's just normal, but like huge amounts of self-doubt, I'm like, girl, you survived and you're still here. So it helps to assure you that you have handled this before, so you can handle it now, and you can also handle it in the future. And my last point is, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Like, also, this is a bit philosophical probably, but just think about it from 2 aspects. Number 1, in the grand scale of stuff, how much does it really matter? So like right now I'm really stressed with my Gotha exam, right? But like, think about the universe. How much does my Gotha exam in less than a month matter? For real. Yeah. You know, it's a tiny thing, in so small, it's like basically invisible. And it matters to me right now so much, but how much does it really matter? Also, aspect number 2, how much does it matter in my life? You know, it's definitely a great thing if I can do it, but if I can't do it 5 years from now, how much does it really matter? You know what I mean? So, even if you don't understand stuff, even if it's hard, even if you like don't understand anything for 3 months, even though you're trying your best, really does it matter when like 5 years from now you will be speaking that language? You will be doing that thing that you're so scared of doing? Like, but on the other hand, if you let it go, and if you get discouraged and you let it go, this is why I always tell people to keep going even if you're like really discouraged, because going slow is so much better than stopping. Think about it. If you don't understand anything for 3 months, 5 years from now you're still speaking that language. But if you don't understand anything for 3 months and then you let it go, 5 years from now you're not speaking that language. You know, so you're losing on an ability just because of 3 hard months. You will improve, and it's a matter of when, not a matter of if. You will improve, just might take some time. And think about it, just because of this time frame thing, you're losing on an ability if you give up. That's crazy, right? So it's okay if you don't understand, because at the end of the day, in your life, the fact that you didn't understand for 3 months, for 5 months, it doesn't matter. The fact that you finally managed to come over that challenge, that matters so much. And it matters to a lot of people. And it matters to you and your future self. This is like a summary of what I said. 1, not understanding today doesn't mean you will never understand. Number 2, other people are also not understanding. Number 3, you already survived harder things. Number 4, life is exciting because there are some things that you don't understand, there are some things that you don't know. Last but not least, because at the end of the day, no one cares. If you fail, no one cares. The good thing about failing is that most people won't even notice it. You are the only person who's noticing it the most. Other people don't care. People do care when you succeed. They don't really care if you don't. Imagine, if I try to learn Russian and then I fail, who cares? Like literally, who cares? People care because I managed to learn French in a short amount of time. If I failed, who would have cared? No one. And you think that the only person who cares so much if you fail or not is yourself. It really gets easier to cope with the not understanding. So that was it. Thank you for watching this video. Love you and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.